Hello everyone, this is Miss Time Bunny, and today is me finally getting around to my latest Q&A video, which I've only been threatening to do for how long now. But it's just, life's been so busy recently, what with like work, and I've had quite a few trips away over the summer and various other things. I've just literally not had the time to sit down and record and edit stuff as much as I'd like, but I'm finally doing it, so here we go. We're going to get cracking. So first video is from Scorpius9472, and he said, if you were to make a top 10 video, what would you do it on and why? Oh, see, this is tricky because there's quite a few subjects that I would probably do a top 10 on. I know in the past I have toyed with the idea of doing some Saints Row related top 10s. I think I've threatened to do that idea about a good year or so ago, but I've not actually had the opportunity to act on it, so that might possibly happen at some point in the future. I haven't completely abandoned that idea, so it'll probably be a top 10 related to Saints Row, like top 10 silly moments, or if I can't do a top 10, it might be a top 5 of something like weapons or characters, silly moments, cars, or whatever, So it'll probably be something along those kind of lines. It will happen eventually, at some point when I can get to it. Or if it wasn't to do with that, I would maybe do like a top 10, maybe like my top 10 games of all time, or my top 10 current games, or maybe like movies or books, something like that, something. I know that's probably a bit generic, but it's like possibly something like that as well, or there's like basically like the Fallout franchise, which I totally love at the moment, so there's the possibility of top 10s related to that, and I could go on. There's just so many I would love to do because there's too many things I like and so many possibilities with that. So it's like, I don't think there'd be any sort of like one video I would make, to be honest, Scorpius. There's just a lot of ideas I probably would do, to be honest. So, but the Saints Row one, hopefully, fingers crossed, that will happen one day, because I know I threatened God knows how long ago that I would possibly do some Saints Row related videos, but I've just never gotten around to it. So watch his space. Well, watch his channel. It might happen eventually one day, maybe, I don't know. Right, question number 2 is from Emma at Darkstar Media, and she said, what advice would you give to yourself at the beginning of your YouTube adventures? I think it would be just have fun, don't stress out about things too much, and just upload whatever the feck you like, I think it's just in the past I've been guilty of trying to, be something that I wasn't, and trying to take it a bit too seriously, and I forgot to have fun. Because I think I fell into the trap of getting a bit obsessed with like views and subscribers. I was just a bit like, slap hand. So I think, to be fair, I think we all probably get a little bit guilty of that every now and again. So, but I'd probably say to myself, just don't stress out, have fun. Just carry on doing what you're doing, just make videos on what you like, when you like, because sometimes life gets in the way and you can't always do the videos you want, so be a case of it's cool, don't worry, Right, question number 3 is from Badger at The Badger Show, and he's decided to give me like a 3-parter. So, well, I say a 3-parter. The first question is a 2-parter, and then there's a separate third one. So he said, who is your favourite Power Ranger and why? And the second part of that question is, Megaforce should have been the end of the show, yes or no? Right. So the first bit was like, who is my favourite Power Ranger and why? See, I was caught between sort of like 3 when I watched the original like Power Rangers when it first started up, and that was Tommy the green/white ranger, Kimberly the pink ranger, and also, wow, it was probably Trini and Aisha who were the yellow rangers. So technically 4, even though 2 of them were the same Power Ranger colour. But so yeah, it's probably like sort of a toss up between those four, because I think I liked all of them equally. So yeah, and why I liked them, I don't know why. I think I can't remember now. I'm trying to remember something back when I was like sort of like a sort of fairly young sort of like teen. So I don't know why I looked to those four particularly. I just did. I mean, with like Tommy, I think it was more the fact that I had a crush on him. So, whereas with the sort of like the three girls, I think it was just more that because I always thought they're quite badass, and I just loved to do all the gymnastics that Kimberly could do. I was always a bit like, I wish I could do that. So. Right, and the second part, Megaforce should have been the end of the show, yes or no? To be fair, I've never really watched Power Rangers beyond the original series and then the first movie they made. After that, I just didn't really watch Power Rangers anymore, because I felt a bit like, no, I prefer like the original stuff, like back in the early 90s when it first came out. That was kind of like more my Power Rangers, so I can't really answer that, to be honest. Right, and the other question that Badger has given me was, what was the worst case of food poisoning you've ever had? I don't think I've ever really had like really proper full on, you know, food poisoning. I mean, I've had a few times where I've eaten something and it's maybe given me like a bit of an iffy tummy the next day, but I haven't been ill enough that I couldn't sort of like get on with things and like go to work or go out. It was just more of a case of I just felt a bit like, you know, so there was nothing that plenty of water and like a bit of medicine if need be couldn't sort out. I don't think I've ever had proper full blown I'm dying food poisoning, so not yet anyway. Saying that, it'll probably go and happen now knowing my luck, because I've opened my big gob. Right, next question is from Alan McCarthy at National Nonsense News. And can I just say congratulations on getting married recently, buddy? And his question was, what can we expect from the channel as we head into the final quarter of 2017? To be honest, I think it's just going to be more of the same of what I'm doing now. You know, sort of more, you know, sort of travel vlogs, more show and tell / pick up / shopping haul videos. More live streams, you know, that kind of stuff. Although I have noticed, sort of looking at my channel, my channel's gone slightly sort of geeky nerdy, sort of like very, very slowly, progressively on its own. So it's possible that next year my channel could go full on sort of like geek, retro, nostalgic sort of channel. So, but from the moment, it's probably just going to be more of what I'm doing at the moment. Possibly slowly progressing into more nerddom, as it were, so keep your eye out. And next question is from Tony at Retronic Collector. His question is, what was the first ever games console you bought, and what is your all-time favourite video game and least favourite, and why? So there's a couple of questions there. Right, first ever games console I bought, well, the first one I remember physically buying for myself out of my own money was PlayStation 2, because I was working full time at a shop down in Gunwharf Quays at the time, and I think it's like I remember saving up over a couple of months, putting like £50 to £100 aside over a couple of months until I had like the. Because I think at the time, I think Virgin Megastore was selling the PlayStation 2 for about £250, £300, that sort of price. So it was still at its like sort of fairly new, hadn't that long come out on the market kind of price. You know, I think it hadn't been out. Don't think it'd been out all that long, maybe about a year-ish, if that. So I remember it was still about £250, £300. So I was obviously saving up a bit out of my wages over a few months. And I remember the month when it hit, when I had enough money to actually physically go in there and buy it for myself. And I was just like, it was a really awesome moment that I was able to physically go in there with my own money and be like, I'll have one of those, thank you very much. So yeah, that was. I don't think I've got that PlayStation anymore, but because I think it may have. I can't remember if I gave it to someone or if it died on me or something like that, but I do own a slim PlayStation 2 now, so But yeah, I can't remember why I just don't own the original PlayStation that I used to have, like I physically bought. But yes, that was the first one I ever bought for myself, and I was proper chuffed, wasn't I? So, and the next part was, what is your all-time favourite video game and your least favourite, and why? See, this is tricky. It's like, 'cause I have like quite a lot that I really love. But I think if I had to choose like my all-time favourite one, it would probably be a toss-up between, I think, the Silent Hill and Siberia series. Because, you know, I love both of them to death. So I thought with, I think sort of like with obviously the Silent Hill franchise, like, well, the first three anyway, you had obviously all the sort of like atmosphere and the sort of like psychological what's in the bloody hell's going on kind of thing, and then like, especially with Silent Hill 2, when you go to Silent Hill and you're trying to unravel all this stuff with James Sunderland and his supposedly like dead wife and what's actually happened and what went on between them and all this kind of stuff. You're like, I remember that one in particular proper sucked me in, and I was like sat there playing it going, where is this going? You know, what's this whole thing with sort of like his dead wife and Maria, who is the lass he meets in Silent Hill during the course of the game. You think, what's the deal with all this? And it proper drags you in. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it in case there's any of you out there that haven't played it and you've managed to avoid spoilers and stuff like that, but it's like that one in particular proper sucked me in. And with Siberia, with that game, there's like this lawyer called Kate who's flown over to Europe from New York to originally basically buy out this factory for her company. Or no, I think it's like a sort of company's gone via her lawyer agency to buy out this company because there was no heir and that. But then this whole mystery starts to unravel when she gets there, and she's like, nothing's as clear cut as I originally thought, and then it sort of goes from there. So again, I think it's both, they both sort of proper dragged me in, and I just really had to sort of like play through them and be like, I need to know what happens, you know. So yeah, I think it was just a really good storytelling with those games, you know, just really got me into it, and I really enjoyed them. And as for my least favourite game, I don't think I really have a least favourite game as such, to be honest. I don't know, I'm not sure I really have one at the moment. Not one that really stands out. I mean, there might be obviously games that I prefer more than others, but I don't think I have any that I particularly sort of like really dislike and thought, you know, why the hell am I playing this? Well, not any that I can think of at the minute anyway, so yeah, none I can think of. Right, and the last question is from Lady Boobs Views, and she has given me a shag, marry, kill question. She has gone for Jason Momoa, Roman Reigns and Pamela Anderson. I just think, you evil, evil person is all I'm saying to that. I think my shag is going to be Jason Momoa, marry Pamela Anderson and kill Roman Reigns. There's probably a few people that are probably thinking, yes, go on, kill him. But it was just like, either way there was going to be someone I was going to have to bump off that I didn't want to. And it's just like, oh, it's really evil. I was like, I don't want to answer this question, it's not fair. But that's my answer. It's like, I don't like you anymore. But anyway, that is my Q&A. I will probably do another one again at some point or another. If I remember, I will try and link everybody's channels who ask questions in the description, along with their question if I remember, just so that you know who's who and who does what, all that gubbins. So, but until next time, I'm going to end here, and I will see you all again soon.